behalf of my delegation. This is my first visit to Colombia, and what I found is that there is more than enough going on in this country that is perhaps not heard or talked about back home in India. But let me just say a few words about the agenda of this visit and the impressions. I only came in about midnight last night. It's been about 20 odd hours in this country, in the capital. I met Mr. Milano this morning, had a long discussion with him. The reason I wanted to come and visit Colombia is because I feel that there is a tremendous untapped potential between the two countries. In terms of our political ideologies, there is no issue of concern, there are no divergent views on any major issue. So I see no reason why we can't cooperate and collaborate much more than we are doing currently. The amount of trade that we have between the two countries also is far below potential. And one area that comes to my mind is, because I work in that ministry, is the area of information technology. India has done reasonably well in the last decade and a half. Some of you may know that the numbers look impressive, but for the size and scale and the challenges that we have in India, these numbers don't suffice. We need to further make ourselves live up to the expectations that people in India have of the government and of course of the industry. We have just last month crossed the 900 million mark for a number of mobile users in India. I think that presents, at least to me, a very large opportunity where we can take information technology to the furthest corners of India, which is a country of more than 1 billion people. The handheld mobile devices can be used to access and to give out information, entertainment to the hundreds of thousands of villages in which most of India resides. And the challenge before my government and my ministry is, how do we change the mindset about IT and about broadband, about internet? And since I took charge about 3 years ago in this ministry, the first thing I wanted to do was break the conventional mindset that when people think of IT and IT professionals and computers and broadband and internet, we think of laptops, of very smart people speaking only in English, working in air-conditioned environments. But that has to change if people in Colombia, in the hundreds of municipalities who live in Colombia, and the people who live in rural parts of India have to access information technology. Now, the sector of IT is not there just for large companies and small companies to make dollars and to add bottom line to the revenue. For me, as a policymaker in India, the real value of having progress in IT is if we can make a difference in the lives of people who have so far really not experienced how their lives can be transformed by the use of IT. The UN report has suggested that a 10 percentage point increase in broadband penetration increases the entire GDP by 1.4%. That data is for all of us to see. So the endeavor on side of the government of India is to further democratize information. This digital divide has to be bridged using mobile handsets to deliver IT services, banking services, financial services. And we have some experience in the last 7-8 years doing that. And this morning I shared with the minister here in Colombia that we are more than happy to forge partnerships, to have alliances, to share our knowledge, our learnings, and perhaps even our failures. I was very happy to see the agenda and the program that the minister has for really taking information technology into interior parts of Colombia. Colombia, I think, is a country that has a lot to offer, not just to India, but to the entire world. I think the Indian companies will greatly benefit by setting up operations here. There are a few that I know of, but many more could be welcomed here, because we can not only service Colombia as a country, but perhaps all Spanish-speaking nations, not only in Europe, but in South America. The time zone advantage with North America also is a huge advantage that can be harnessed. The ambassador has informed me that he's been trying to put people in touch with each other, but I dare say that back home in India, we need a lot more persuasion, and a lot more information needs to get disseminated into the industry, into the government circles, into investors who are more than willing, because a stable government, a stable country, an environment where wealth creation can take place. And relationships always work best when they're symbiotic. It has to be complementary. It can't be that one party ends up doing all the hard work and the other one gets all the benefit. So I look forward to having a follow-up on this visit. I will take back very good memories of a very short stay that I'm going to have in Colombia. But more importantly, whoever I've met has extended to me and my delegation nothing but warmth and friendliness and the smiling faces, and that's something I'll take back with me from Colombia. And I will also get a bag of coffee tomorrow to make sure I get that. But the smiling faces, the warmth, and I think it's a cultural affiliation. I was telling somebody I was talking to earlier that the similarities are there. It's not about the skin color or the language, but it's the ethos of our society. The values that we hold close to our heart is the values of family ties, of relationships, of living in a community where one cares for each other. And those are cultural, those are centuries old. They've been imbibed in our blood, in our DNA. No one can take that away. So when there is so much similarity, there is so much opportunity, there is so much that can be done, I see no reason why we can't enhance our trade, our cooperation, our partnership, our engagement many, many times more than what it is today. So, Ambassador, I don't want to speak on forever. As you know, in India, politicians have a habit and have capacity to speak, as do in South America, I say. But I will end here. I just want to thank you once more for having arranged all of this. It's been a wonderful, short, but very useful visit. And I look forward to being of help to you and to the people in this room and the whole of Colombia if they want any assistance or support or help from us in Delhi. And I look forward to seeing some of you later on today and perhaps next time in New Delhi. Thank you very much.
Thank you.